Good afternoon, people. Watch Woman 65. Lisa Boyce here with another article. And this is from Aljazeera. But before I get into that, I want to read a verse of scripture. This is from 1 Thessalonians 5, 5th chapter. And it's in verse 3. And it says, "For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as a thief." So we're not in darkness. We are expecting the Lord to return. Matter of fact, we're told to expect his return. He's the blessed hope. I thank Barry for mentioning that article or that note that I gave him that we were talking back and forth yesterday. And we're expecting the Lord to come back any day now. Now, this peace plan, I don't see how people can dismiss this peace plan at all as not being important. This is the most important thing, especially as far as watch people are concerned, watching for the rapture. This is so important because I think, matter of fact, I know this is a final plan. If the European Union told Trump to go ahead with this plan, I think that's significant to start looking up for the blessed hope. I'm going to read what happened. Matter of fact, Barry spoke a little bit about it today, about the meteor that hit Jerusalem. But I got an article on it too. It came from the Times of Israel. And it says a large meteor lit up the night sky over Israel with a blue flash. Keep in mind, this happened the very day that the nations gathered together for their meeting. With a blue flash so bright, it was seen in neighboring Lebanon and Cyprus. Yeah. One witness was driving along Route 6 on Tuesday evening when suddenly he saw a blue ball flash through the sky. He later discovered his dashboard camera had captured the sight. I'm going to find the article and put it, I know I got it, so I'm going to find it and link it in my description box. The whole sky was blue. The video does not do it justice to the beauty and power of what it was. This person was left speechless. He told Channel 12. The Israeli Astronomical Association said there had been, listen to the number. And I'm going to read this again. The Israeli Astronomical Association said there had been 144 reported sightings of the meteor in 3 countries. They said that based on the number of sightings, the object was probably very large, and part of it may have survived this fiery descent through the atmosphere. 144. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. But I wanted to read, this is from Aljazeera. Now, this is more about the peace plan. This just came out today, as a matter of fact. And it's talking about, I'm repeating stuff that we've already know about, that, was already said. But I'm going to read this to you because it breaks it down a little bit more. And like I said, I might repeat some stuff that you already know, that I've already said. And that's fine. It's worth bearing repeating. United States President Donald Trump is expected to release his long-awaited Middle East peace plan within days. We know that. more than 2 years after his administration began drafting its vision for a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Now I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to say something because I pulled something up here this morning. And the article was from the Jerusalem Post, but it was back in December of just last month. And instead of it saying that that the Palestinian Authority and the Israelis were gonna split the land, it said that they were gonna share the land. That's what that article said last month. Now, split and share are two different meanings saying the same thing. And I'm going to read a little bit of that to you if I can find. Let me see something. Hold on one second. And I got it right here. Let me see. I don't think I can find it now. But it did say that it will share the land. That's what it said in that article last month. Now let me read this. Let me continue to read this. The policy proposal has been delayed multiple times, which has been kept largely under wraps. Here's what we know so far. And this, like I said, this is from today. The timing. Trump said that he will likely release the details of his plan before Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his arrival in upcoming Israeli elections. Benny Gantz's visit to the White House on Tuesday. The Palestinian leadership, which has rejected the proposal before it is even released, was not invited to the Washington talks. It's a great plan. It's a plan that would really work, Trump told reporters at Air Force One. He said, I love doing deals. They say peace between Israel and the Palestinians. It's the toughest of any deal. The plan will be rolled out as Trump's Senate impeachment trial continues on Capitol Hill. I think the impeachment trial wrapped up yesterday. And as Netanyahu seeks parliamentarian immunity from persecution and corruption cases. Both leaders also face re-elections. Israelis are due back at the polls on March 2nd, and Trump is gearing up for the U.S. presidential election on November 3rd. The U.S. has tried to release the plan multiple times, but Israel has been engulfed in a political crisis after Netanyahu failed to form his majority government twice last year, creating uncertainty over who will be in charge to negotiate a peace plan. There have been several false starts by the U.S. administration in the unveiling of a plan that has been ready for some time now. Some think that the administration is running out of patience waiting for Israeli elections that may not yet again be conclusive. Observers say by inviting both leading candidates, the U.S. may be hoping to get Israel's next prime minister on board in advance. Now, Barry said something earlier today, which is true, that the European Union has given Trump to go ahead to do this peace plan because, well, quite frankly, there is no other peace plan out there. They have nothing else to give. So that should tell you something about the timing of what's going on. I think our time is very, very, did I say very, very short here on this earth. Yeah. Now, let me go on. Now, the next one is the Palestinian rejection. The Palestinians have already dismissed the deal of the century, as the peace plan is widely dubbed, saying it will likely be heavily tilted in Israel's favor, like several other steps taken by Trump since taking office in January of 2017. Now, if the European Union has given Trump the go-ahead with this plan, and they have no other plan made up. That means that, and this is me thinking out loud, of course, this is me just thinking out loud, but who's to say that the Antichrist can't come along and tweak this the way he wants to? Which is what I believe will happen. Why not? I mean, you got the perfect storm. You got Netanyahu that's facing indictment, like I said yesterday. You got Trump that's facing impeachment. You got the perfect storm here. So I'm just thinking out loud. By all means, like I say all the time, make your comments. Over the past 3 years, the Trump administration has controversially recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and relocated the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv, reversed decades of U.S. policy from refraining from endorsing a two-state solution, announced that it no longer views Israeli settlements in occupied territory as inconsonant with international law, stopped funding the United Nations, Palestinian refugee agencies, UNRWA, and slashed hundreds of millions of dollars of aid to Palestinians, among other steps. So I have to admit, he's done a lot. He's done a lot more than any president in history for Israel. I'm not taking up for Trump. I'm not putting him down, but God has used him to get this accomplished for Israel. So I'm just saying, the Palestinian Authority cut off all talks with Washington since the first of these moves, and a spokesman for the Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, said last week that the Palestinian leadership had a clear and unwavering position to reject any Trump-led initiative. In a Twitter post, Saeed Eckert, the Secretary General of the Palestine Liberation Organization, said any proposal that ignored Palestinian rights would be recorded in history as the fraud of the century. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know whether they're going to give in or not. I don't know what's going to happen with them. I could be wrong. Of course, I'm human. I personally have a strong feeling they're going to take this deal. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know. But that's just me. I don't know why. And quite frankly, it really don't matter. It really don't matter as far as prophecy, if they take it or not. The fact that there's a deal coming out of their mouths is enough right there. Not to mention this little meteor that they had there. Not to mention the earthquake that Turkey had. Yeah. And don't forget, California had a pretty moderate earthquake this morning also. So, and I haven't even mentioned that virus that's coming, that I personally think is a weapon from China. Come on, folks. You know the time we have here is limited. It's just a matter of time before we're flying. Praise God. Trump said to his administration he talked briefly to the Palestinians. But we will speak, this is Trump talking, we will speak to them in a period of time, he added. And they have a lot of incentive to do it. I'm sure they maybe will react negatively at first. Listen to this. But it's actually very positive to them. So maybe that article that I had quoted before, that I read a few from a month ago, they're going to share the land. Like I said, sharing and splitting are two different words. But in this case, what I'm picking up is that they're saying the same thing. Again, I could be wrong, but you make your comments there. Trump said we took away their money, and that's a lot of money for them. There's a saying about that. I won't get into that. But anyway, Israeli-Palestinian peace talks collapsed in 2014, and Palestinians say the policies of the Trump administration have rendered Washington incapable of being an honest broker in any future negotiations. This peace plan is a euphemism, said Nurat Ekrart, a human rights lawyer and assistant professor at Rutgers University. There is no peace involved in it. Well, he's partially right about that, because there's not going to be any peace until Jesus comes back and sets his feet down on the Mount of Olives. So, he's partially right about that. It's an oppressive top-down dictate to the Palestinians that the United States, together with Israel, are about to seal an oppressive status quo for Palestinians. The Palestinians want Israel to fully withdraw from the occupied West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, territories Israel has been occupying since the 1967 war. The Palestinians, I think I just got another notification about some more news. The Palestinians want those territories to become part of a future independent state with East Jerusalem and its capital. They also seek the right of return for millions of refugees. Well, I don't know. I'm sensing something here. Now, here's the economic portion. The economic portion was revealed last year, as we know. Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, proposed a $50 billion investment fund during a 2-day workshop called Peace to Prosperity, aimed at boosting the Palestinian and neighboring Arab communities, arguing that this approach could generate prosperity in the occupied Palestinian territories and Jordan, Egypt, and Lebanon. Let me go on with this. Now, the contents of the plan. The development of the plan began November 2017 by Kushner-led advisors. We know all that. But I wanted to give you the first part of that and what was going on there. If I get more news, I'm going to be doing it throughout the day. I think I just got something just now, so I'm going to look at that and bring that to you as well. So, as time goes on, we occupy and redeem the time. Stay worded up, stay prayed up, and I will come back on a little later. Thank you.